Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon, and today we're here to do the free-to-play player experience or free-to-play guide, depending on what you prefer, for Enlisted. And this time we're going to be doing every campaign, and today we're going to be starting with the newest campaign, and that is going to be Axis Pacific, or to be exact, Japanese. With that said, this video has been definitely possible for the friends at Discord. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do that. But let's get started with the free-to-play guide for Japan. For starters, the first starting squads are your Sniper Squad, your Rifleman Squad, and your Tank Squad. The first, at level 2, you get the S1-100 SMG. This SMG is alright. The Meta Squad is also alright, albeit not good for the late game. So, the two squads, yes, it's pretty good weapon for the early game. S1-100, pretty good for the early game. I would suggest that you get some, don't get too many, and just throw the unit out once you can. At level 3, you get the Type 1 or Type I rifle, and with the Engineer Squad. The Type I rifle is pretty much useless beyond imagination, and you might as well just get the Type 38 Engineer Regiment and level that thing out, because you will be using engineers, and you want to max out your engineers, so that's a good thing. Level 4, you get the Attack Pilot with the E13A1. As a Japanese, you have a terrible time deploying your tanks. I do not suggest that you deploy a lot of tanks. Your tanks absolutely will get slaughtered by the allies. Your planes actually stand a better chance, so yes, use the E13A1. Obviously, it's not as good as you think it is compared to the American Seagull, but it will stand a chance. Of course, you can still use the TASA, which is the Type Level 1 tank, or I should say SPAA, but that's going to be interesting. Level 5, you get a pretty interesting unit, the Type 97 anti-tank rifle. As the Japanese, I believe you will be using a lot more AT squads than the Americans, because the Japanese really suffer in tanks, and the Americans are deploying a lot of good tanks. I suggest that you use an anti-tank rifle, and max out the anti-tank squad. Level 6 is the Type 100 SMG early. This gun is one of the best light machine gun submachine guns that you can get. I call it a light machine gun because it technically does have a bipod and it does have a bayonet, which is really useful. As a matter of fact, if you max it out, which I highly suggest that you do, max it out and give it to essentially all of your assaulters or medics at this point, because you're still going to be using medics, I highly suggest that you just give it to every one of your medics. But that said, Type 100 SMG, I'm using it even at the late game, so get it. Really good SMG. 7.2 damage at max level, so yeah, very deadly SMG, good rate of fire, and quite controllable if you have minus 40% recoil reduction. Level 7, you have the Type 11 SMG with the Machine Gunner Squad. The Machine Gunner Squad, I highly suggest that you put the Type 11 SMG in your loadout. The Type 11 SMG is actually not the best compared to the American Browning, but it will get the work done. The sights are quite terrible, and compared to, once again, the Browning, I don't like it. You have to max out the Japanese Machine Gunner Squad because you can be deploying the heavy MGs now with Enlisted, and yes, this is actually a pretty good squad. I highly suggest that you take both weapons. Of course, not as good as the American, but still will get the job done. Type 8 is a mortar regiment. You will not be using a mortar. I personally find no need for a mortar, so throw that out. Type 9 is technically a game changer, with the Japanese getting a ha-go. This is a quite interesting tank. Of course, it cannot stand up to Stuarts in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, it can be penetrated front on by the American M13 and GMC, which is pretty bad. And I highly suggest that you throw this thing out or use it, but very sparingly. The machine gun on this thing sucks. The gun on this thing is mediocre. It's not like the Stuart, in which you just blazing machine guns with 50 cals on it, but yes. Would I still use it? Yes, I will actually technically still use it, because at this point, the E13A1 is kind of bad. So yes, use the Hago. Level 10, you get your Hiei rifle, and I highly suggest that you max this thing out. As a matter of fact, it is technically the best semi-automatic rifle for the Japanese. Technically, you can still use the Otsu rifle, but the only difference between the Hiei and the Otsu is that the Otsu trades a little bit of firepower for rate of fire, so that's that. But at level 10, you also get the Signalman Squad. Get it, use it, deploy it. Really useful. Really useful. The ability to just call in artillery is beyond proficient. And as a matter of right now, I like to say, as of right now, your squads are going to be the medic squad, the machine gunner squad, and the radio operator squad. So that is going to be your loadout. You can either choose to deploy a tank or deploy a plane, up to you, but I personally go for tank as of right now. Level 11, you get a single 2-row Type 96, pretty good meme weapon. Is it really actually useful in terms of if you give it for your machine gunners? Yes, you can run with it, so that's a pretty good thing. Speed is key in the Pacific, so it's really important. Level 12, you get the A5M4. This is a fighter pilot with no bomb. Would I use it? No. Sorry guys, I will not use this thing. It's pretty useless in the Pacific. Level 13, you have the Type 99 rifle late. It is pretty much useless in my opinion. Level 14, you can choose to use the Type 93 flamethrower with the Level 16 Infantry Division, 20th Infantry Regiment, with basically the flamethrowers. Would I get it? Maybe. For the Japanese, it's kind of iffy, but I would personally get it, depending on your loadout, of course. Still, I would suggest a machine gunner, a medic, and you guessed it, a radio operator. Level 15, you get the MP 7.65. This is a pretty interesting unit. I highly suggest that you replace the medic squad with this, because this is what's going to change your games. It's going to turn your games from bad to amazing, because as of right now, I will still highly suggest that you bring the Type 100 SMG. The MP28 7.65 is also good, but considering the fact that it has pretty good recoil, pretty good stuff, the only problem is that you have to level the Assaulter's class up, and that's going to be hard because this is going to be a level 2 Assaulter, so might as well just bring out the Type 100 SMG, so that's going to be interesting. Bring out the Type 100 SMG, give it to all your dudes in your Assaulter squads who can carry those, and yeah, that's going to be it for level 15. Level 15, honestly, the best thing the Japanese could get. Level 16, the D3A1 Dive Bomber. Compared to the essentially the American bomber, this is a joke. 250 kilogram bomb and 60 kilogram bomb is nothing. Would I use it? Yeah, why not? Use it. Level 17, you have the Type 38 Rifle Grenade Discharger with the 71st Infantry Regiment, the 23rd Infantry Division, the Japanese Rifleman Level 2. Would I use the Rifleman Level 2? No. Would I use the Grenade Discharger? Absolutely, 100%. Use this thing. Use the Grenade Discharger. It's gonna turn your games into better stuff. Yeah, I highly suggest that you use it on your Rifleman. Level 18, Sniper Rifle. Would I use it? No, sorry. Level 19, the A6M2 Raison. Would I use this? Yes, considering the fact that you can actually take out a lot of planes that are annoying. Your tanks are mediocre. Would I still deploy a Hago as of right now? Depends, but a Hago is increasingly going to be getting worse and worse. The Raison is actually way better than... It gives you a chance, basically, against allied fighters and allied ground targets. So, level 19, a Raison. Would I put it in my squad? Yes. Level 20, you get the Type 97 LMG. The Type 97 LMG is iffy with the scope. Would I use this as a Machine Gunner 2 squad? No, I will not use the Machine Gunner 2 squad. Would I use the Type 97 LMG? Depends on your playstyle. For me, I used it. It has a pretty good scope, albeit the scope is getting more wobblier. But depending on you, the Type 11 LMG versus the Type 97 LMG, really depends on you. I suggest that you fire it a little bit, test around it a little bit, and yeah. Level 21, you get the Type 5 rocket launcher. A pretty good rocket launcher. You just know how to aim this thing. And that's that. Would I use it? Yes, 100%. It's better than depending on the case and scenario, against tanks, but not against so much stationary weapons such as heavy machine guns or anti-aircraft guns. So that depends really on you. Really depends on you for that decision. Once again, Type 5 rocket launcher, good against tanks. Anti-tank rifle, good against almost every emplacement that you can do and tanks. So yeah. Type 22, the Otsu rifle, like I've said, with the Hiei rifle, the Otsu rifle trades a little bit of hit power for rate of fire. Would I get this thing? The sights are better. The stuff is better. And if you're out of silver orders for weapons, no. If you have a lot, maybe, because like this thing is interesting. It does give you some benefits, and it does give you a better sight, which a lot of people are saying importantly. It's for you to decide. I personally don't have it, but that's a personal preference, so that's that. Level 23, we have the tanker number 2 with the Kini. This is a Japanese tank, very light, and like I said, it can be penetrated by anything. Almost every Japanese tank can be penetrated by anything. Would I use this? No. I'd rather bring the A6 M2 because, once again, the A6 M2 is pretty good at everything. 1st Infantry Division, 57th Infantry Regiment, level 24. You get the Flamethrower. Would I use this? Maybe. Flamethrower 100 is very good, very deadly. Would I deploy it? Would I use a change of Flamethrower over a squad? Once again, at this point in your progression, you're really focused about how can you get as many kills as fast as possible. Is it worth it, the Type 100 Flamethrower squad? Depends on you, really. Honestly, I sometimes use it, sometimes not. Depends on the situation. But that said, level 25, you get another game changer, the Type 2A SMG, level 25. Obviously, I do not really like this weapon because it does not have the bayonet. Once again, you stand a very better chance using the Type 100 SMG, which is really sad considering the fact that the Type 100 is at level 6 and this thing is at level 25. Type 2A SMG, would I get it? Maybe. The squad is really useful. I highly suggest that you use the squad. You basically have 2 SMG squads, and if you're interested, you can still deploy the light machine gun squad, so that's that. Type 26 is a huge game changer for the Japanese, the Type 96 light machine gun. The Type 96 light machine gun as of right now is one of the best Japanese light machine guns. I highly suggest that you just straight outright throw out the Type 11 or the Type 97 and put this thing in. This is really good. I highly suggest that you bring out a machine gunner squad, put this for pretty much every machine gunner, and you can also use the heavy MG. But the Type 96 light machine gun is really good, really suggest that you get it, and really good. 27, you get the Type 4 rocket launcher. Would I get it? Yes. It has a pretty good sight, way better upgrade to the Type 5 rocket launcher, so get it. And if you use the bazooka or the Panzerschreck, I highly suggest that you use this thing because it's pretty much the same. Level 28, the Kami, would I use it? Yeah, surprisingly it has 3 machine guns. The only real issue is the fact that this thing basically has no armor. And the only real thing I'm afraid for this tank is that basically anything is going to penetrate through. 37mm Type 1 cannon is interesting. It will get the job done, I think, against infantry. Against tanks, it's a lot more iffier. And yeah, just be careful with the Kami, really careful, it's iffy. And level 29, you have the SIG 1920. This is basically an upgrade to the Type 100 SMG, wow, you will never expect me saying that. And it is a direct upgrade to, I kid you not, the MP28 7.65. Reason? This thing has 50 round magazine, something that the Type 100 really actually needs right now. It has a bayonet, which is basically an upgrade to the Type 100 because it also has a bayonet. Damage is pretty good. It is going to be unlocked at the very late level, so that's going to be pretty good. In terms of the damage, it's way more. Actually, no, to be exact, it's exactly the same as the MP28. It is going to be slightly less than the Type 100, but this rate of fire is 690. It's more vertical and horizontal stable than the Type 100, so that's going to be better. Now, you might be wondering, is it really worth it? And the answer is yes, it is actually worth it. You would never expect me to say something about the Type 100, because the Type 100 in this campaign is really dominant until you get this weapon. Get this weapon, the SIG 1920. It's really good. Highly suggest that you get it and deploy it in all of your squads. But that's it, guys. This is all it for the Japanese campaign, the Pacific War campaign. Hope you found this useful and hope this helped for the free-to-play guide for Enlisted. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.